You wake up before the sun. You walk to the window, look out, and realize your city is surrounded by a massive military force, and they are all there specifically for you. In the mid-9th century BC, the Aramean Empire was expanding aggressively south into Israel. They possessed the pinnacle of ancient military technology, deploying disciplined formations of infantry and heavy war chariots to swallow up rival kingdoms. This is the Tel Dan Stele. Carved by the Aramean king Hazael, the Aramaic text boasts of his military victories over the kings of Israel during this exact era. The Aramean war machine was a documented physical reality. Standing at a window and staring down at the evidence of your own destruction creates a specific kind of paralyzing, blinding fear. That is the situation for a young servant in the city of Dothan.
The servant presents the mathematical facts of the morning. There is no escape route. The Aramean soldiers possess superior weapons, and they possess every exit. The siege is absolute. Elisha stays grounded in a different geography. He remains unbothered by the iron and wood of the chariots outside, because he is focused on a different set of facts. How can a man surrounded by an entire army stay this calm? To find the answer, we have to look at the track record he built before he ever reached Dothan. Elisha's ministry followed that of his mentor, Elijah. But where Elijah was known for public, fiery judgments on mountaintops, Elisha lived intimately among the people in their homes. When a widow faced the loss of her sons to creditors, Elisha told her to gather every empty jar in her neighborhood. He filled them from a single small container of oil until the woman ran out of vessels to hold it. When the Shunammite woman's son died, Elisha went to the room and stretched himself over the boy, mouth to mouth, eyes to eyes, until the child's body grew warm and he breathed again. These events were tactical. The surrounding culture worshipped Baal as the lord of fertility and life. By multiplying oil and raising the dead in private rooms, Elisha demonstrated that Yahweh held authority over those specific domains. The same authority that dictated the outcomes of regional wars was being applied to the quiet, private corners of domestic life. Back in Dothan, the servant screams about the Aramean army. Elisha finally speaks. He prays for a change in the room, not a change in the field. He asks the Lord to open the servant's eyes. The Hebrew text uses two different words for vision here. The servant is experiencing yareh, a fear based on what his horizontal sightlines can process. Elisha is operating in ra'ah, a vertical perception that sees through the physical threat. The servant looks past the Aramean infantry. He sees the surrounding hills engulfed in a host of angelic chariots and horses of fire. They had been there the entire time. The presence of the chariots reveals why Elisha never panicked. The physical siege was only half the story. This pattern of restorative power outlasted Elisha himself. Years after the prophet's death, Israel suffered a Moabite raid. During the chaos, a group of men hastily threw a friend's corpse into Elisha's tomb to hide it from the raiders. As soon as the dead body touched Elisha's bones, the man was resurrected. He stood up in the tomb. This moment in the tomb echoes through the rest of the biblical narrative. It ties the life-giving power of the prophets directly to the later claim of a resurrected Christ. A terminal diagnosis or a foreclosure notice feels exactly like an Aramean army at the gates. It is a visible reality that demands your total focus. The natural reflex is to stare at the threat and wait for the circumstances to vanish. Elisha's prayer suggests a different path. Pray for the vision to see the amber fire on the hills. Those who stand with God are never outnumbered.